All right, let's head to Tuscaloosa where the Tide got summer started with a big visit weekend. One major recruitment that we're watching is quarterback Kalen Russell. Could a flip be in the works? He was in Tuscaloosa for an official visit. We'll cover that in this video. Also, five-star offensive lineman Ty Haywood was on campus. We got Bama Online publisher Tim Watts on this show. But first, Bama fans, make sure you guys hit subscribe to the greatest recruiting channel on YouTube. Appreciate you guys. All right. Let's bring on Tim Watts from Bama Online to talk some Alabama recruiting. Now, Tim, before we get to Kalen Russell, a couple big names on campus, including Ty Haywood. Denton, Texas, the number 2 offensive tackle in the country. Now, you and I had talked a couple weeks ago. We weren't sure whether Ty Haywood would follow through with this trip or even make an official visit to Alabama, but it seems like they're in the thick of it. What are you hearing after this trip?
Yeah, well, Haywood is pretty interesting. Being from Mississippi, having been born there, grew up an Alabama fan. The biggest thing was were they going to be able to get him on campus? They got him on campus. Obviously a big time recruit, 5-star offensive tackle, and apparently went really, really well. Alabama's one of his leaders now. Still has like 3 official visits to go, but I think the key for Bama was just getting him on campus, giving him that first impression, which they did. And Kalen DeBoer and his staff, they've been really good with their visits, unofficials and officials, and this one went really well also.
All right. Now, he has officials in June to Oklahoma and FSU. Alabama right there, like I said, in the thick of it. We'll see what happens come July. Jordan Davison, Mater Dei High School out in California. We know that Alabama recruits the West Coast really well. Do you feel that Jordan Davison could be part of that Mater Dei to Alabama pipeline?
I think they're in it. They've been in the top 3 or 4 the whole time. He's came for an unofficial visit. That's not a short trip. I mean, if you're coming for an unofficial, you're kind of sizing up whether you want to come back for an official. He did. Really good relationship with Robert Gillespie, and that's one thing that Coach G, as the kids call him, does. He really connects with the running back recruits. He recruits good overall, but with the running back recruits, his position, he does a really good job of connecting, and that's one of the main things keeping Alabama in it for Jordan. Still think there's some recruiting left to go. I don't think most of those Mater Dei kids or most of the big name kids in California rush to a decision, but Alabama's definitely in the mix.
All right. Now, let's get to Kalen Russell, the 4-star quarterback who's committed to SMU. Now, Alabama offered about 5 weeks ago. Oregon has come in and offered recently. We know UF is trying to flip him. Ole Miss. And he was recently here in Nashville for the On3 Elite Series. Got to talk to him, and it really sounds like Alabama stood out to him. How important was this visit this weekend for Kalen Russell?
I think it was huge, and things have really picked up. Alabama sort of had a get to know phase. They arrived in Tuscaloosa, the new staff. Almost all the quarterbacks in the nation were committed, so they were really catching the backside, having to work on kids, and where do they want to put the most effort into? Well, the offensive coordinator and quarterback coach Coach Sheridan went down and saw him throw live. In Texas, Alabama extended an offer, and it's really picked up well, gotten a lot more heated for Alabama and Russell. And this visit, I don't think it could have went any better. The early reviews, and it wasn't just reviews we were getting on Sunday after he left. We were hearing about this during the weekend, how well it went, what a good connection he's got there. Obviously, Kalen DeBoer is going to be heavily involved in selling this program on the offensive side. But definitely went really well. And, I think right now Alabama, I know he's committed to SMU, but I think that Alabama's probably the leader right now, probably in the driver's seat for him.
Yeah, I would agree with that. He's going to take some more official visits. He just came off of SMU official visit straight to Tuscaloosa this weekend. Now, we talked in the months of after Kalen DeBoer took over, and we were kind of trying to figure out who the priority quarterback targets would be. We know they kicked the tires on Deuce Knight. They had him on the phone with Michael Penix in January and February. But that seems like it kind of wore off a little bit. We also know that Juju Lewis came in for an unofficial visit, but doesn't have an official visit scheduled. So would you say right now Kalen Russell is at the top of Bama's recruiting board when it comes to the quarterback position?
I think when we were trying to figure it out, I think Alabama was trying to figure out their quarterback board. I mean, they hadn't seen these guys live, and that was a big part of it. And again, Nick Sheridan got out, saw several of the guys they were looking at the hardest, got good looks at them on campus, and that was important to see them live and throw live. And yeah, Deuce kind of went a little bit quiet. I think that was hotter at the beginning of the year. But Russell's the guy we've heard the most talk about, that seems the most serious. I think he's a kid that could give Alabama a commitment, and they would shut it down for this class. As far as quarterbacks go.
All right. So, yeah, he said he's going to take this round of official visits and basically said, at some point, I need to shut it down. So, with Bama official visit in the books, are they the leader in the clubhouse, you think?
Yeah, I think so. After this visit, I mean, we've talked to several sources. It went great. His dad was on the trip. He had people close to him with it. He really had a good relationship heading into the visit. Once you get on that official visit, and it was a rather big weekend. They had double digit visitors, but he got a lot of one on one time. It was a slower pace than you would get official visit during the season. All the boxes he needed checked were checked, we are told. So Alabama's definitely put their best foot forward, and I think they're in the driver's seat right now.
Yeah, Tim, you said it. There was double-digit visitors in Tuscaloosa this week, and so go to Bama Online. You guys do a great job of covering all the visitors thoroughly. We only hit on a couple here. We'll wrap it up. Do you feel that Alabama ends up signing any of the uncommitted visitors from this first big official visit weekend?
Yeah, you either want to be, I think, first or last when it comes to your official visitor. So Alabama went, into some of their top targets. Yeah, I would say they have a good chance. I think Haywood's a kid they got a chance with now. Jordan Davidson, they've got guys. They had a few commitments, but the majority of guys were not committed guys like Russell. And yeah, I think that you'll see this pay off. I don't know if it's going to be immediately because most of these guys have visits lined up, but also you got to think Alabama pushed them a little trying to get a commitment and get those visits canceled. So there's some jockeying going on. You know how the recruiting game is. So Alabama wanted to be first, and they were with some of their top targets.
Yeah, Bama fans, talk to me. Let me know. Comment section below. Big visit weekend. Who do you guys think ultimately end up signing with the Tide? Let me know. Comment section below. Thank you for watching this video, and if you enjoyed that, go check out the hundreds of videos that we have on this channel, and also do me a favor, hit subscribe to the On3 Recruits channel.